Hello. They call me Uncle Ebo White. I am the CEO of Roman Productions. But I'm also very much committed to helping you become your better self and to find fulfillment in your life, especially in the area of your love life. I'd like to thank you for joining me this afternoon. And it will do this every Friday afternoon from 12:30 to 1:30. Forgive us that we've had a little bit of hold up. It's because Kwesi had a bad dream. Forgive us. Now, I'd like you to invite a friend to like my page, Uncle Ebo White, and to join in this discussion. You can also watch this program, this interaction on YouTube on Roverman Productions page. You can send in your questions and I will answer them as much as possible. Please, if you are new to this, we do this with a lot of humor. So don't take yourself too seriously. I may poke fun at you, but it's all in good faith. It's not vicious, and I hope you would forgive me if I say anything that you are not too excited about. Last week we looked at the women a man should avoid if he can, and this week we are going to do the opposite. We are going to look at the men a man can avoid. Why should you avoid such men? Because they cannot make a woman happy. Someone sent a message to one of my staff that he doesn't want his girlfriend to listen to what the men to be avoided, so he's putting off the Wi-Fi. So get your own unit so that you can watch this as well. So let's get into it. But before we do that, there's a comment somebody sent to us from last week because of last week's program, and she said men should know how to treat women in order not to turn them into monsters. Well, listen. If somebody's behavior turns you into a monster, you are a monster already. It was not behavior that turned you into a monster. It is not what someone does to you. It is the way you react to it that reveals you. So it isn't the behavior, it isn't what the person did that has made you the way you are or the way you've reacted. That is how you are. So I hope you take note of that. So let's talk about the men that you should avoid, the men who cannot make any woman happy. Number one, the man who is obsessed with his mother. The man who is obsessed with a mother. The man who is saying, oh, my mother this, my mother that. As my mother cooks this way, my mother cooks it this way, my mother prepares it this way. I need to call my mother. I have to go to my mother. The man who is obsessed with a mother cannot make any woman happy, because what he is doing is that he's introduced a rival into the relationship, and it is not the right thing to do. Your loved one wants to feel special. And if he thinks that you give her the impression that she is playing second fiddle to your mother, trust me, you are asking for trouble. Two, the man, and this will surprise you, the man whose father was short-tempered and beat his wife. You know, as boys grow into men, they begin to resemble their fathers. So before you commit yourself to any man, get to know the father. If the father is deceased, ask questions about the kind of man or the man who raised him. It could be an uncle, it could be a big brother. But look at the model, the role model, the major role model in his life. That is your man in a few years. That is your man under extreme provocation. So the man whose father or guardian, the one who raised him, was short-tempered or used to beat the woman in his life. Three, the man who is lazy. The man who is lazy. The man who is lazy and refuses to take responsibility for himself and is dependent, that man will not make you happy. He will be a constant frustration to you. Men ought to be resourceful. Men ought to be responsible in order to earn the title man. So if you are relating to a man and you have to take care of him, You have to go out and make the money for him to spend. It is not going to change. He's going to continue living on you. And the painful thing is that one day, he will take your resources and go and make another woman happy. So, if you can avoid a man like that, please avoid him. Number 4, the man who can't believe that you said yes to him. In other words, the man who thinks that you are too good for him. Under normal circumstances, you think a man like that will cherish you. No. Men like that, when a man thinks he's not worthy of you, when a man thinks you are too good for him, he doesn't cherish you. He punishes you. He finds ways of belittling you. He finds ways of undermining your confidence and your self-esteem. So if you are relating to a man who is always picking on you, always criticizing you, always making you feel stupid, that man feels that he's unworthy of you. That's why he's doing it. The man who can't believe that you said yes, be careful. 5, the man who has no regard for the feelings of other people, especially his subordinates. If you are relating to a man, watch how he relates to other people, because he will relate to you like that. The way he relates to the least person that he deals with is the way he will relate to you one day. So watch it. If he's a boss, go to his office. Watch how the subordinates talk about him and how he relates to them. If he has a driver, watch how he relates to the driver. If he has a servant in the house, watch how he relates to the servant in the house. The man who has no regard for the feelings of other people, please try and avoid. 6, the man who cannot stand to be challenged or to be questioned. The man who just goes wild when you engage in an argument. When he says something, you ask a question, or you ask, why are you saying this? What did you do? Then he just goes wild. That person is insecure. That person may be a man in age, but inside is a boy. And you don't want to relate to a boy. Boys are lousy. They make lousy lovers. 7, the man who thinks he's perfect. This is a man who will never accept fault. He doesn't do anything wrong. If anything goes wrong in a relationship, it is your fault, not his. Because as for him, he is perfect. If you ever relate to a man who is always right, you are in trouble. And then 8, the man who cannot say thank you. He takes everything for granted. Do anything for him. Buy him a present on his birthday. He will not say thank you. That man who needs attention than any woman you would ever meet. And when a man needs attention, what happens is that he will do anything for the attention, and he will go everywhere for the attention. So if he's not getting it from you, he'll go out. A man who needs constant attention, constant taking care of. And then finally, 10, the man who has no interest in adding value to himself. A man should constantly be upgrading himself. He should constantly be getting bigger. He should be getting larger. He should be expanding his horizon. He should be going beyond his comfort zone. If you are relating to a man who is comfortable where he is and has no interest in going further, what will happen is that that's a man who cannot be the right role model to your children. Avoid that. So those are 10 of the many men you should avoid if you can. I think we can take a break there, and then when we come back, I'll be ready to take questions. Once again, I want to thank you very much for joining us. Stay with us till 1:30 if you can.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Anaki, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content.
We are live.
Okay, so Uncle Bo.
Oh, let me say thank you to them for coming back. I appreciate the fact that you stayed with us. Thank you very much. And now the fireworks begin.
All right. So first of all, people are registering where they are watching you from.
Okay.
And it's quite a wide variety. We have Sunyane, we have Wa, we have Northern Region, we have Kokomlemle, we have London, we even
Knowledge and with exposure. And I hope you'd understand that. So that's why I'm saying yes and no. Yes, you can be different, but you must understand why you have to be different. Because you have the potential of being the same, if not even a worse version of your father.
All right. Now Ajele is asking, Uncle, what about a man who is always chasing money? Is that man not also dangerous?
If he's chasing money to the exclusion of everything else, then yes. But if he's chasing money because he's hardworking and he's entrepreneurial, you thank God every day for him. Because that's the man, and especially if he's generous. It's different if he's chasing money and he's not generous. He doesn't show you money. I mean, but if he can bring the money home small, and every now and then there's a holiday, you can take a trip, and you can go to the salon, and he pays the tab, why not? So don't let us bash our brothers who can smell money and know how to chase money. They are to be celebrated, except that they must understand that money, we make money to spend. They shouldn't sleep on the money.
All right, so that was for Na Ajele. Now we move to Elhana Forsen. She says, Uncle, how about the man who is so caught up in work that he has virtually no time for you, but feels you are not being understanding when you complain?
That is, again, that is a man not to be avoided. He's not a bad person. He may have had his priorities wrong. He may have his work and life balance wrong, but he needs a little bit of coaching and he'll be fine. Don't nag him. Find a way of bringing. And again, that's why in a relationship, especially before it becomes marriage, you need a counselor. A counselor who will help the two of you work through some of these things. So he will be made to understand that it is in his own interest to have a balance in his life, because life cannot be all work. And when life becomes all work, you will die sooner. And when you die, before we get you into the mortuary, somebody will take over the seat you're occupying, and you think you don't have time for anything. There is a picture on my mind that will never go away. It's a picture of the morning of 9/11 in the US, the Twin Towers. One of the things that happened that morning after the plane had hit, that was even before the buildings collapsed, were all these papers that were flying out of the building. And they carpeted the streets for kilometers away. The interesting thing is that when the plane hit and these papers flew out, nobody was going around looking at the papers to find out whether this document is important or not. Everybody wanted life. It was the human beings we were saving. We did not save one single document. And yet this may have been a document somebody spent all night on and thought his life depended on it. No, our lives do not depend on our work. And yes, I believe in hard work. I believe in delivering quality. I believe in giving 100% to whatever you are doing. But work hard and also learn to play hard. Remember, there is much more to life than work. And if work is all you have, the day you get stroke, you'll discover work is a lousy lover. So let's pay attention to the people in our lives. And at the end of the day, it's all about people. It's all about people.
Uncle, you talked about the man who can't believe you said yes to him.
Yes.
But Miss Kumsin is asking, how about the men who are obsessed with you?
Oh, run away. Run, oh, run. The man is one of the... There are 14. I have 14 but in my list. And we'll put the test on our page so you can access it. And the man who is obsessed with you is one of them. The man who wants to know where you are every time. He will call you every time. He would check on you every time. And when he calls you, you must pick it immediately or his word comes to an end. There's a major crisis. That man is insecure. And you should watch a man like that. He needs to grow. He needs to get confident in himself and know that there's a good reason why you said yes to him and you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
All right. Uncle, we have another one. He says, what about the man who is always with his friends? Do you shun him outright or do you check the qualities of his friends first?
Win his friends over, if you can. And I know a lot of ladies have that headache. Boys, win his friends over or win one person among his friends and you'll be cool. They can become your allies because they know what he's been up to. And if they like you, they will stop him. They'll tell you, no, we'll allow you to do this tonight. Or to Philo or whoever. Yeah.
Okay, Apo. All right, so Amanda is asking, Uncle, how can a man treat a woman when she is in her mood swings? Sometimes that is the men, don't get used to our changes.
No, it's because, Amanda, right?
Yes, Amanda.
Amanda, it's because nobody teaches us men how to relate to you. And sometimes we underestimate the differences between men and women. And I'm happy you have brought this thing up. I would like all the men to listen. If you are dating a woman, you are not dating one woman. No. You are dating about 4 women at the same time. The woman who is in her premenstrual period is different from the woman going through her period. The woman who's ovulating is very different from the woman who is not ovulating. So even within a month, you can relate to 4 different women in the same woman. And you must educate yourself and sometimes understand that, because when you don't understand it, you create tension because she can't help it. It's not like she's doing something too much. She can't help it. When she's in ovulation, she's different. When she's in a period, she's different. There's a period when she feels she has bloated and she thinks she's become ugly and she needs you to say, no, you've still got it. You've still got it. You are still beautiful in my eyes. I think there must be a whole school to help men understand women. Maybe we should set up that kind of school. And with your support, one day we will do that.
Well, I guess thinking alongside that's a direction. Alfred Boateng is asking, Uncle, how can you deal with a nagging wife, please?
Stop making her nag. She's nagging for a reason. So what is she nagging about? Maybe she's nagging because you don't come home early, or that you don't call when you are going to be late, or she's nagging because when she's talking to you, you don't listen, or she's nagging because you don't keep the bathroom clean, or she's nagging. Listen, even a mad person has a reason for being mad. So if your wife is nagging, she has a good reason. Try and understand it and bring her to also understand you. And you realize that the woman you thought was a nag is not a nag. Pay attention. But women, listen, our mothers tried, though, they didn't succeed. They are so ordained. So be patient with us.
Uncle, Mr. Fun is recognizing that you said if you are dealing with a woman, you may be dealing with 4 different personalities.
Yes.
And he's saying that, Uncle, sometimes it's 6, so sometimes it's even 9.
My brother. I was being conservative.
Okay, so
But then the good thing is that you can love all of them. So, hey, that's why we are men. Like, bring it on. We can rise to the challenge.
okay, so you're talking about the men you should avoid, but Selassie Clara is asking, how would you know your man is Mr. Right?
You will know by being Miss Right. And I think I've said this before. Don't worry about Mr. Right. Being Miss Right, and you would attract Mr. Right. The people who come into our lives, we attract them by being the right people. So whoever you are, if you're a greedy person, you would attract a greedy person. If you are a giving, generous person, you attract a generous person. So be, and you would have.
All right. Now Ajele is asking, is 14 years age difference between two people okay for them to get married?
Now, the age difference does not really matter. What matters is, it's not about the age. It's not about how old you are. It's how much you've grown within that year. So somebody may be 14 years older than you on paper, but in terms of maturity may not be there at all. And somebody may be younger than you by 14 years, and yet her exposure, her maturity would marvel you. I don't think that it would be right to legislate about age. And remember, we have a president who has we have a president in the U.S. who has a very young wife. So we can't make too much noise about that. Otherwise, if I make that, I won't get a visa unless I go to the U.S. university. But the point that I'm making really is that it doesn't really quite matter. Get to know each other well. Give yourself a chance to know each other. And go through the phases of your relationship, and that will be fine.
All right. So Nanefua also says she's here, and she's all the way from France. And we have...
Nanefua, we are looking forward to your return. We miss you.
All right. So Rosa Gadede is asking, what about a man who never says sorry because he thinks his action is a reaction to...
That's the man. I remember I talked about the man who sees himself as perfect. Yes, he will never say sorry because he is never wrong. You are wrong. And if you are relating to Mr. Perfect, what should you do? One, accept him. Two, let the counselor talk to him and let him realize, hey, you are not perfect.
Okay. So, Uncle, it looks like a number of people missed the list. So, is it possible to just mention just the list of men to avoid?
Okay.
Just to help them.
The man who is obsessed with his mother, the man whose father or the one who raised him, the male who raised him, was short-tempered or an abuser, the man who is lazy, the man who cannot believe that you said yes to him, the man who has no regard for the feelings of other people, especially his subordinates, the man who cannot stand being challenged or who cannot stand you asking him questions, the man who thinks he is perfect, the man who cannot say thank you, the man who needs attention more than even your children, and the man who has no interest in adding value to himself. Those are the men, but there are more. We'll put them on the page.
Okay, so Nanefua is asking, Uncle Ebo, if your partner is amazing and supports you immensely, how can you ensure that you are also a good woman for him?
First, begin by letting him know you think he's amazing and appreciating him. And then you also look for ways in which you can continue to make him happy, and that will be fine. That will be fine. The mere fact that you have an amazing man in your life means you yourself, you are amazing because you've attracted an amazing person. So congratulations.
All right. Elhana is back, and she says, Uncle, how about a man who says, I don't want a relationship now, but I want you to stay?
I was going to say something, Elhana. I was going to say something, but this is public, so I can't say it. But I was going to say that leave the foolish man, but I can't say that on air. I mean, this is public, so I can't say it.
Okay, so let me see. All right, so Nalamle is echoing that age doesn't equate maturity. True. Vivian is saying ish by one of your comments. Emmanuel Forson says, Uncle, generous guys usually attract greedy women.
Not quite true. Then it means that they are not quite generous in every area. They may be generous with just their money. But generosity begins with even words, with attention. So don't look at just the words and what you give. But then, if you think that you have the wrong woman, that's why it's called courtship. So take another look at your options, or get a counselor and let the two of you be helped.
Uncle, there have been a number of times when you've talked about get a counselor, or speak to a counselor.
Yes.
How does one choose the right counselor to speak to?
You may not know, so go see somebody, possibly in church, in the community. If what he's saying doesn't ring true to you, move on, because it's not by force.
Okay. Ken Halm is asking, Uncle, why would my lady do opposite of what she says? Example, I request for us to go out, and she says no to it, but later she says she wants to go out. Why would my lady do the opposite of what she herself says?
No, it depends on how you said it. For instance, if you came to a woman and you said, would you like to go out? The answer would be no. But if you came and you said, my dear, let me take you out, let me go and do your show, that's a very different thing altogether. So watch how you couch things. Because women don't want to feel as if they were asking for it, because then it doesn't count. They want to feel that you wanted it. And so always let her know, I want this, and I really want you to. I will be happy to have you with me. And she will respond positively. But hey, on one cast Encore, and now she says she will go. Go! It's possible she looked at, maybe she was mad with you. So when in nature you said, go, let's go, she was mad. Kai, I won't go out with you. Then she realized, hey, if you don't go, he's going to meet some beautiful girls there. Oh, let me go, let me represent. It doesn't matter. Hey, go.
All right. Justina is asking a question on behalf of Pearl Oyster. She says, Uncle, how can you deal with a nagging, argumentative wife? A question from Pearl Oyster.
Is Pearl not a lady's name?
Yes.
And what's the question again?
No, I think Justina and Pearl are watching you together.
Yes.
But the phone is for Justina.
All right.
So Justina is the one texting the question.
Okay.
She says, Pearl wants to know.
Yes.
How can you deal with a nagging, argumentative man?
A nagging, argumentative man.
Yes.
There's no man who can beat a woman in an argument. And if there's a man there who thinks he can do it, don't try it. You'll not live to write a book on it. So I'm not too sure how that works out. But sometimes saying little is important. When the man gets argumentative, keep quiet and let him rant. When he's done, make your point again. So let him go and go and go and go and go. He'll run out of steam. Then say, my dear, this is not what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. And then get back to it. And don't throw tantrums. Don't call him names. Don't attack him personally. If you attack his personality, he will get defensive. Let's get back to the issue. We're talking about you're coming home late. Let's deal with that.
Okay, Mamena is asking, what about a man who always wants you to think like he does?
Let him know that you have the breast for good reason. One of the things that I was told by one of my lady friends when I was at the university, he said, tell the brothers that women are not men with protruding breasts. They are different. So you can't think like a man can't think like you. So let's respect the differences. And that's what makes it beautiful. Because if you can then get a benefit of the perspective of the woman in your life, and that of the man in your life, you would always be on top of the game. Well, we'll take a little break here, and then when we come back here, I'll still be here taking your questions, and I am still so grateful that you are making the time to be with us.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, honey, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude.
Goes and get several levels.
It's like a parable. All right, Mina is asking, what about a guy who acts awkwardly towards you when his parents are around?
Obviously, this is a man you are dating. He's afraid of his parents. Give him time; he'll be fine. It's possible that you may be the first that he's taken home, and it's not too sure what the parents' reaction may be. So, give him time; he'll get used to it.
Isaac is asking, Uncle, please, what do you do to a married woman who keeps WhatsApping you at night, asking to hang out with you?
That's from Isaac.
Yes, from Isaac. Vivian says, my husband doesn't fall under any of the categories above. I am blessed.
Vivian, you are indeed blessed. And when you go home today, tell him so. Give him a kiss and say, my dear, I am blessed to have you. We like sweet words, you know. We pretend we don't like it, but you say it will still go there.
And then Margaret echoes the same thing.
So watch it, because he will get worse, he won't get better.
All right, so we're still here, and Fifi says he appreciates the way you are so straightforward speaking. And Nana Yeyi says, I think being generous is more than just giving money.
Yes, it is.
Rosemary says, Uncle, so we should not marry these men. We are already more than the men.
My dear, listen to me. Half a man is not better than no man. You know, we say that half a loaf is better than none, but half a man is not better than no man. I would rather that you find ways of filling your life and making yourself happy than to be involved with a man who causes you to cry and causes you heartache and heart pain every time. So the choice is yours.
Rashida says, Uncle, please, my man has been using his female colleagues on his wall on their birthdays, but he doesn't use mine when it's...
Come on. What's this logic? We men, we do logic. This one is on logic.
Uncle, this logic thing, there are some people who, from a point of protecting, at least I know this about some people who are married.
Yes.
They don't want to expose their families on social media.
Yes.
You know, so they wouldn't put up their wife or their children's pictures.
So don't put anybody there.
Anybody there. Eruaba Tewia says, Uncle, please, what of a man who is always dictated to by his mother? Park the car. Aren't you coming home? Especially when the mother notices him with a lady. She gets angry and frowns towards the lady.
Wow, how old is this young man? Because you remember, we began by talking about the man who is obsessed with his mother, and this will be one of it. The man who is being controlled by his mother. But it pays to know, we have no idea how old he is, so maybe the mother may be trying to protect him from messing you up. So unfortunately, you haven't given us enough for me to make a very good statement on this.
Okay, so Miss Adakwa says, Uncle, how do you deal with a man you have repeatedly told you don't like, but he's still forcing a relationship? Isn't that selfish on his part?
No, it is. It is you not doing yourself any favors. Shut that door. Don't give him the chance to come back. If you don't like him, this issue of, oh, I said no, but he won't take no for an answer. Come on, this your life, not his. When he wants to leave you, you're saying no won't stop him. So if you said no, let him respect your no. And if he doesn't respect your no, put in the checks that will make sure he can't reach you, so that he will know you are serious about your no.
All right. Gideon says, if you are with a lady for 7 years, you let go, and she comes back after 1.5 years begging you to come back, should I allow her? So
the impression I'm getting from your question, Gideon, is that the 7 years wait was on her side, not on your side.
No, they were together for 7 years.
Or they married, or they courted for 7 years.
For 7 years. Then they broke up.
Now,
and then after a year and a half.
Who did the breaking?
He says.
He doesn't say.
She let go of you. So she.
Okay, so she left you.
Yes. Then 1.5 years later, she's back.
Gideon, find out what happened. It may be good news or bad news. It may be good news that she went out there and discovered there's no better person out there than you, Gideon, and he's coming back. It could be bad news because she's picked something and she wants somebody to put it on. Ask questions. Find out what has changed. Why does she want to come back?
Okay. Georgina repeats what you said. She said, Onwa na oka say uncle. Now she says she wants to go. Go ahead.
Then you say it again. That's all. Go.
Then Sir Elvison is back. He says, Uncle, do guys also nag? If yes, how is that?
Well, some guys do. It's a very unusual trait of a man. If a man keeps nagging, again, like I've always said, that there are men that will need to take their trousers and make an inspection, because we may be calling the wrong people men. So yes, some men do, but thank God not that many.
Uncle, Clara is here. She says, I'm leaving a marriage of 4 kids, a drunkard husband, into brackets, he wasn't that from the beginning, and a property that I think can help the future of my kids. I need help. I am back to square one.
Wow. And
I am now writing WAEC as a 35-year-old.
What's the name again?
Clara.
Clara, I said that your name is not too friendly. My R and my L are very...
Selassie Clara, so
yeah,
Selassie is fine.
But I'll try. Clara. My heart goes out to you. I mean, this is... only God knows what you're going through and the pain you are going through. But you are strong. Women are strong. And I pray that God will give you the grace and the resources you need to go on. But again, talk with people. Find help. Talk with somebody, either in church or in your family. Let them help you out. But I hope that the situation turns out right for you. I'm sorry you're going through this. You shouldn't go through it. But, hey, God will be with you. May He continue to sustain you.
So the Mike is also here, and he says, you talked about the man who's always right.
Yes.
As one of those to be avoided. Now, the Mike said, is it wrong to correct your date? And when to correct your date again and again, when she continues doing the same thing again and again, does that make you a perfect man? Does that make you one of those men?
No, but it makes you insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. You've been trying to correct this woman for when? Since 1921. And she hasn't changed. Shouldn't you try something else? How about trying to accept her for who she is?
Uncle Honest is asking, Uncle, how do you let a woman know that love actually begins after all the butterflies in the stomach feeling things have gone? I mean, let her know the real stuff. I don't even know whether you agree with this.
Love does not begin. Love begins when the butterflies are there, but the butterflies would end, and that is when the real living begins. And that's why in one of our presentations, we talked about the things that matter more than love. If you miss it, I think we'll put it on our site so that you can refresh yourself about it.
Okay, so our regular S4 is here. Shay Sharon is here. She says, not sure if these points have been covered, but what about men who consistently become cold, give you the silent treatment, pompous, etc. after an argument? Not a fight, just an argument. All his routines basically change, and you, the lady, have to be the one to slowly turn things around. Where is the care and where is the love? In the end, you would usually not be the solution to find the solution to the argument because Opana reiterates he's not interested. Also, where is Uncle's books to be purchased outside Accra?
Yes,
S4.
S4. S4. The only problem I have with your question is that you called him by the wrong title. You said a man. He's a boy. He's a boy throwing tantrums. He's a boy pouting. He should grow up. What is this about cold treatment? When there's just been a disagreement, I think it is not on. And you can't build a relationship because what the person is doing is that he's now manipulating you with a cold treatment, knowing that. And there are two kinds of boys who do that. There's the one who uses the cold treatment to get you to be uncomfortable. And there's the one who uses patapa or uses intimidation to get you to coil back in your shell so he can have his way. Both of them are boys. They need to grow up. I don't know what you can do to help them to grow.
All right, Uncle, we have about 5 minutes to go. And Belinda is asking a question. I think you can use it to address all the rest. That what if you're already married to any of these men? How do you handle your marriage? So maybe if you can take some of the men you talked about and how
begin to pray first and foremost, because it's going to be, and then also accept the person you have married. Don't seek to change them because you can't change them. Accept them. They can change for you, but you can't insist that they change for you. And then you continue being who you are. Don't change. Continue being who you are. And that may compel them to raise their game and up their game. But it's not easy, and I wish you all the best.
Uncle, Miss Adakwa is asking. She says her friend Suzanne is also here and wants to know, is it possible to change a guy?
No. It is possible to change a guy before you begin to date him, before you begin to commit emotionally to him. Once that boy becomes a boyfriend or a husband, it's too late. So the time to change him is before the romance begins. Once romance comes in, he can't change you, you can't change. But he can change on his own for you, but you can't change him.
All right, so Uncle, this will be the last question, and then you can recap and round it up for us. So Dovison is asking, Uncle, can you love someone yet not trust her due to recent behavioral change? And how can this be dealt with?
Yes, you can. And it's always a difficult situation to be in. But whatever it is that brought the distrust, learn to get past it. It may be difficult, but it's not helping the relationship, especially if the person has moved on and it's no longer repeating that behavior. It becomes difficult when the person continues to give you cause to be suspicious. But if the person is listening, whenever you find yourself in a situation where something you've done or said gives cause to your partner to suspect you and not to trust you, go into confidence building mode. Whatever you can do to make the person regain confidence, do it. It may not come overnight, but go for the long haul and you'll get there. And on this note, I'd like to thank you very, very much for joining us today. Remember, we do this every Friday from 12:30, from 12 hours, right? 12:30 GMT to 13:30 GMT. And I hope that you'd join us next Friday. And also, pass the word on to your friends so we can build this community in which we all get better. We all learn to make our love relationships sweet. You see, nobody goes into a love relationship to be miserable. We go into a love relationship to make each other happy and to be happy. So why don't we try to achieve that one? Well, let me know what you think. Let me get feedback from you, and I would appreciate that. May God bless and keep you. May He protect your ways. May He set before you level grounds to walk on and give you put open doors before you. May favor be your portion. May your health be sustained. May your money not whittle away. In other words, may you be able to go from payday to payday without brokerages. And may your love life be sweet. Oh, I'd like to thank you for joining me. God bless you. And enjoy the weekend.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Anaki, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
The secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu erade se woni mi banko bia ne mabanke se yankopana me de me ho matowo so. Surely He will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of He who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. We are done this in the Most High, Almighty God, Creator of the heaven and the earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. For you, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like every day. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord, You've been so long. You got the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't from Eddie Dibia. Jao mi konsiwa ehojo na manu ya shami kerama. Jao mi konsiwa ehojo na manu ya shami kerama. Enti misuro anajubo bombiara. Misuro anajubo bombiara. Onone makucham. Nyanimu anije Ninu nasina metina I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are here and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe and blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. Can just like David did. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord. Blessed.